So the difference between a FDA-approved test for infectious disease versus a standard commercialized test is that the FDA test goes through a lot more validation process. What the FDA is looking for, they want these assays to be extremely sensitive to pick up any type of infection that might be able to be transmitted through a transfusion, donation of eggs and sperm. The majority, there are only two really main manufacturers when it comes to this type of testing because it's such a difficult process to get approved. With that, you're limited with the amount of vendors, but it also adds more precise testing results. So whereas the big commercial labs, they tend to have bigger machines that they run hundreds of samples through, and it doesn't have to be that, I don't want to say sensitive, but it's not as sensitive as the FDA donor test. So FDA donor testing causes more false positives than false negatives. The reason why is these tests were made to be extremely sensitive, that they are to pick up any type of possible infection that could be carried over from the blood transfusion or a sperm donation. Therefore, that tends to make the assays extremely sensitive. So some of the most common errors that I see when the blood arrives in the lab is that the specimen was not prepped right, meaning there wasn't centrifuged at a certain speed in order to separate the plasma or the serum, mishandling of the specimen itself, or a wrong collection, or lack of identification markers that are located on the tubes. That seems to cause most of the problems. So the difference between a FDA-approved donor assay versus a commercial assay is that the donor assay goes through an extensive correlation of results, meaning they want to make sure that this test is extremely sensitive and picks up any type of infectious disease that possibly can infect the potential recipient of either donor blood or donor sperm or donor eggs.